Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Alright, let's get started. Okay, let's check this out. Let's see what do these tea leaves have to say? All right. Having a lot of boats in my I have a little boat right here. I have a lot of boats in my readings lately. Yeah, these ones are really interesting. My goodness. Okay, so I want to start with. Let's see. We'll start here. Okay, so we have a seated being. It almost looks like a person with a dog head. It looks like maybe because it's seated in this posture that it is possibly like a priest, some kind of being of knowledge, and it is touching the foot of this being that is kind of almost looks like it's falling backwards or is in a reclined posture. So in ancient cultures, to touch somebody's feet or to be touched by the toe of an entity or a god was like seeing into the mind of the person or into the soul. This was a place of energies entering and exiting the body, of energies flowing out through the many energy points. And if you're at all familiar with like reflexology, or even just the fact that we release a lot of toxins through our feet, but we're also encountering the world with our feet touching the ground. So we're absorbing energies through our feet constantly. Now, having this being touching the feet, to me, is an indicator that there is a share of knowledge, but also a relationship of kind of a safe relationship, a consensual relationship with a probably like non-manifested being, or some kind of person that embodies the divine. So like I said, like a priest, priestess, priest, high priest, somebody masquerading as a deity, something like this. Okay. I have a feeling because of where this is placed, it's got one foot in the physical. The rest of it is in this emotional psychic space and reaching up into this metaphysical space. So I think that this is a visitor in your dreams. Okay, I think that this has a lot to do with receiving messaging while in an unconscious state or in an altered conscious state. It could be meditation, vision work, plant medicine. But because it is the dog head, I think that this is most likely like a dream, because this is, in my mind, kind of a psychopomp, maybe like Anubis. And though usually a psychopomp would be related to the death process or the crossing over process, it also could be related to a dream space, which is kind of, you would think of it as being a place that has like this thinning of the fabric of base reality attached to the eternal, right? Or the other side, or underworld, or whatever you'd like to call it. So let's see, what is this person, what does this intelligence have to say? And trying to figure out. So I'm looking at this formation and I'm seeing a person kind of in a seated position looking upwards towards this formation with the head in this posture. And I've mentioned this whenever I see it, so you may have seen it in another reading. When the head is in this upward, it's kind of back, the chin is tilted up, the gaze is upwards. For me, this is often related to gazing towards the divine, having a moment where you are witnessing maybe a God source, some kind of universal messaging, truth, or synchronicity. Something divine is happening. This is a posture of awe. Okay, this is the devotee kind of experiencing whatever it is they're devoted to, right? The divine, or something awe-inspiring. Sorry, my cat is just getting off of me. She's sitting on my shoulder here. And so I really think that this must be like such a potent period for you. It really just is overflowing. And it makes sense because, and I'll bring this card up really quick. This is the Star card from the Thoth deck, and it's all about that kind of potent vision, connection to the spirit. In this case, I think it really is just like this feeling of that kind of feminine, Sophia kind of feminine goddess intelligence, wisdom, really just exposing itself to you, letting you kind of swim in revelation a bit, maybe ecstasy, or I should say a state of of ecstasy or ecstatic state that is kind of achieved through spiritual work. Okay, I'm not necessarily talking about chemicals here. Come on, get down. Thank you. And so I think you're just like so in it. It feels like the universe is just really inviting you to have a really direct and profound experience with it. And now we experience the universe in all day, every day, but it doesn't always feel so meaningful, right? I think when we're just kind of in the drudge of base reality, it can often just, feel like that. You're just kind of like, making your way through the tedium. And then there are parts of our life where we come into an alignment, into an activation where it feels like everything is so meaningful. There's just kind of a very palpable feeling of the divine in our life, patterns, symbols, uploads that people are getting of information, these kinds of things. And I feel that this is what you're going through right now. I'm seeing 2 L's, 3 L's actually. So triple L, I think, look for that. That's important. Now, this figure that was being gazed at, I want to look at that a little bit more. It looks almost like a seated person as well, facing this way. Almost what comes to mind is kind of somebody witnessing the divine, and it appears as themselves, maybe in an idyllic form. So it's interesting because it has kind of this like mirrored fractal quality where you kind of seek the ultimate truth, or like some kind of understanding, cosmic understanding, or whatever, and you're kind of just shown an image of yourself, which is perplexing, right? So maybe that's something to think about. All right, let's see. We also have a hummingbird. Okay, so very busy time. Again, very potent. A lot of that nectar, honey, pollen, available to you. And I feel that you are just like full of inspiration. You are very in line with the busy work that comes along with this kind of inspiration. And I feel that you're probably putting it to use within your creative life, documenting, and hopefully enjoying the experience, because not often in life do we come to these moments where we can be both in a deep spiritual alignment and also being productive. It doesn't always work out that way. Now, I also want to look at this because this line of formations is really interesting. It looks like different scenarios, kind of all the different ways that we're turning it. So, and now I want to look at this part here. I feel like this is a lot about, I just touched the part right there. Sorry. Somebody who, I see somebody kind of crawling, okay? And I really get the distinct impression from this line that this is about not you, but somebody that you care about, that you've known for a long time. I feel like there's probably somebody, I almost think like you grew up with them possibly. I see kind of a lot of imagery of climbing over things together. And so I think that it's been a long journey with this person. I think that you, like I said, you've known them for a long time. You've known them since like conception. It doesn't have to be like, you've known each other since you were babies, but it feels like that. I think since an early age anyways. And I feel that there's been a lot of closeness. I think that there's even kind of a spiritual connection I think that you share similar interests, or you used to, and you both were kind of maybe more in tune with otherworldly things more than most of the people around you. Okay, so there's that relationship. I think, though, that this person, as they grew and as they kind of experienced more and more things that were difficult for them, maybe that they couldn't really understand or process, it really affected them. And I see a person traveling, walking, but I also see this figure that's kind of holding a sword. And I feel that this is kind of related to, maybe there's been some cognitive decline, maybe poor decision making. It seems like they've had trouble managing their life, like, in fundamental ways. Maybe with housing or keeping jobs, things like this, family problems. And so I believe that although you have been close in your life, I don't think that you're super close now. But I imagine, because most of us see people we've known for a long time on social media and kind of can keep up with each other's lives passively, I feel that you have witnessed this person kind of, it seems like they've spiraled a bit, at least recently. I feel that probably this has been over a period of time, and maybe it's been kind of a cycle. And I feel like this has really kind of been stressful for you, okay? And I see here again this boat with the sail here and kind of this winged being, right? And I feel like you almost have this instinct of wanting to just kind of intervene with this person. I get the sense of, it's kind of like, you have a desire to take them with you on your journey. You wish that you could save them. You wish you could just show them, like, just a little bit of the way, right? To help kind of shake them out of the thing that they've been doing over and over again. And, I have to say that I feel like you have these feelings, you have these concerns for them, you have a lot of love and care, and you want to help, but you also know that probably you've helped in the past. You can't just kind of take somebody out of their life and fix them. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way. And people have to kind of decide for themselves that they're ready to change their life from whatever's going on, okay? So, I think that in this situation, there's no resolution I can give you. Really not a lot of advice about what to do or what would make this better, except that we just have to accept other people's paths. We have to accept and honor people's will, even if their will, they're not honoring their own will, right? And they kind of are just, how do I say this? I'm trying to be delicate. Even if they're self-destructing, we cannot stop people from doing what they're going to do. ultimately. But we can lend them love and support, right? Within reason, obviously. We have to keep boundaries, and you have to be well yourself. And I think there always has to be kind of a framework and a context where these kinds of interactions and the kind of support, has to exist in that realm, so that it doesn't necessarily become like enabling or goes against, your kind of comfort level. And so I think it's just really important to, do what you can in the situation. And maybe that's nothing at all. I don't know. But, I think, and this maybe is, I don't, I don't know, but I think that prayer goes a long way, okay? Is basically what I'm trying to say. I don't want to, just be that person that's like, all you do is just pray for somebody. But, I think that prayer goes a long way, definitely. I think it affects the universe. I think, putting in our intention and applying energy to how we kind of interact and perceive the world, and how we'd like there to be subtle changes. All of that is very worthy work. And so, I think that, it's difficult. And as I'm saying all this, I see this turtle here, and I think it's just a really slow moving process. And, unfortunately, as somebody myself who has watched people throughout my life, from my past lives, past parts of my life, I should say, not other lives, have passed on and, not survived themselves or their situations, their circumstances. It's hard. It's very hard. And it never gets easier. But, I don't know exactly what your situation is or what their situation is, but I do know that there's a strong feeling of where you are aligned right now with your interior work, your spiritual work, with these dreams that you're having, with these messages, with this like invitation from the universe to continue deeper into the mysteries. The best thing you can really do for people, I would say, honestly, is just living by example. Staying married to your work, right? And doing it well. And in the process, deepening your empathy and being of service to others. Definitely, all of these things are so important. But again, it's also very important to have really strong boundaries with people, because it's easy to start harming other people's situation if we give too much. And I know that sounds silly, kind of, but with my own experience in recovery, 12-step. I've seen a lot of people who have a lot of help from others, who've had a lot of opportunities to, make different choices and to get well. And, and it's amazing, because sometimes you think, oh my gosh, it's like they hit the lottery. Why aren't they getting it together? Why aren't they able to figure it out? But, sometimes the circumstances of things like addiction, mental health problems, trauma, whatever it is, it's beyond reasonable thinking, rational thinking, logic. Okay. And it's truly a torment for people. And so some people who continue to get so much help, and also have people in their lives who kind of feed into their behaviors, give them resources, that ultimately, unfortunately, end up killing them because they're misusing them. So it's very difficult. I mean, obviously, it's a very hard, it's a hard thing to figure out. So, you know, I don't know exactly what you should do with this person, but, you know, also just being there, letting them know that you are there for them without judgment. And that just somebody being heard by somebody else that cares for them, that knows them, that could be very healing. It could be something that has a lasting effect. And you know, so many people that are going through difficult things in their lives, chronic illness, grief, addiction, mental health issues, whatever it is, they're very alienated and very isolated. And you know, a lot of people don't go out of their, they don't go out of their way. It's not out of their way. They don't, I feel like they're afraid to talk to people or to bother people or to be judged by others, or, you know, whatever it is. And so sometimes just checking in with people, that's, you know, more than they could ask for. So that's something to think about as well. Okay. So I feel that we have some emotional, so I think that in this next period of time, something to remember while you're doing some of this interior work, is to make sure that you're taking care of your body and your sleep and moving and eating well, eating, you know, not going long periods of time without eating or forgetting to eat, hydrating. I'm seeing this bird kind of feeding here on this perfect cube. No, it's a rectangle. But yeah, I think that it's important for you to keep that body, your temple, your physical temple, squared away, right? On the level. Keep it together. So take care of your body, and you know, because that's what upholds all of that spiritual work. You have to keep the body going and healthy so that you can do the things that you want to do in those other places, in those interior or extra dimensional or wherever you're going. So just be mindful of that. And I think that, let's see, it looks like we have a full moon coming up here this week. And maybe you're watching this in a different time period, I don't know. But when this is coming out, I think it's about 2 days before the full moon. So, it looks like, at least during the full moon, okay, and the day before and the day after, and then probably, so the 2 days before, the 2 days after the full moon, I would just really concentrate on cleansing cycles, really just focusing on doing, maybe doing some like ritual cleaning the house, getting things in alignment for that. Maybe choosing a color to go along with the full moon cycle, something that will be meaningful for you. Excuse me. Be meaningful for you during the kind of pouring out of the moon. So maybe choosing a color, doing some ritual cleaning of the home, maybe of the body, making sure that you're keeping your body healthy and on routine, sleeping, all of that, okay? And, you know, it never hurts to put out some kind of offering to your chosen patron deity or to the moon itself during the full moon period, okay? So, yeah, I think it's just kind of matching up with this. It's just very much about that base, keeping that base together, okay? All right. I think that's our message today, Capricorn. And I just wanted to thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I'm always so honored to do so. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps me get into the algorithm. If you have not subscribed, please think about doing so. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when my next videos come out. We're on a new schedule, so I am doing 2 readings a day, 6 days a week. So that will put us at every sign being read once a week. So you want to know when those come out? Hit the little video, or I mean the little bell thing, and it'll tell you when. Other than that, if you want to just leave a comment, let me know how you're doing. Let me know what's going on with you. I love hearing from each and every one of you. You are all so sweet and make doing these readings so much easier. It makes you, gives me the spirit to keep going. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We will talk again very soon.